We're back. People, we are back. Bomba to bomba. Spurs in the news again. This time for the right reasons. Well, nothing is guaranteed yet, but let's talk about it. Fabrizio has broken some news that has sent Spurs Twitter and just the Spurs, the onliners into a frenzy. Me included. Because he's brought out some news that has linked us with a player that plays for Man City, and it's more than linked. He's actually come out and said that we have opened club to club talks for Savinho. Right? Fabrizio has put out a tweet saying we have opened club to club talks for 21-year-old Savinho, and his exact words were, Tottenham opened club to club talks to sign Savinho from Man City. Negotiations ongoing between Spurs and City. Also understand Savinho is open to the move if the clubs can agree on fee. THFC boss Thomas Frank indicated Savinho as ideal player. And he's obviously tagged Matteo Moretto. He's the one who broke it. Let's see what his tweet translates into. Let's translate this. So he says, exclusive Tottenham for Savinho. There is already an ongoing negotiation between Tottenham and Manchester City. The Brazilian soccer player would give the green light on a possible transfer if everything is arranged between clubs. So we've learned a couple of things. We've learned that one, Spurs are actively looking for another wide player, contrary to comments that may have been put out in the media by Frank. Two, Savinho would be open to joining Tottenham if we can agree on a fee. And three, and most importantly, based off what Fabrizio reported, Thomas Frank has indicated Savinho as ideal player. Thomas Frank has indicated Savinho as ideal player. Now, let's talk because we have to look at this news in totality and what it could mean for Tottenham Hotspur, yeah? So, let's talk about the player. Cool. Savinho. Where do I stand on Savinho? I mean, you watch me on the Big Six. You see me speak to Big Steve about it. He's still young. He's still raw. He's still developing. Output needs to be better. But my goodness, this kid can play. This is a very good footballer. Very, very good footballer. I was slightly disappointed with his output last season, but there's certain players you watch and you just keep watching and you're like, yeah, it's only a matter of time with you. And he is in that bucket for me. He's in that bucket for me where it's like, you need to give them more grace. Maybe not so much more grace, but you need to, unfortunately, give them more patience and more time, even though you may not have the patience and time. Because what they're showing you on a football pitch, even when it's not coming off, is good. They're showing you several things that you want to see, but just that final piece, the end product, is missing. And that is Savinho for me, or Savio. When I watched him for Man City, of course, there were games where he was quiet, but there were games where this guy would cook, and he would cook well. This is a talented footballer, fast, can dribble, good close control, good combination play, can play on both flanks, yeah, can create chances. I think his finishing needs work. Absolutely, his finishing needs work, but this is a very talented footballer. Very talented footballer. I remember watching him when we beat Man City. We beat Man City 3-2. I think it was 3-2. Yeah, we beat Man City 3-2 in the League Cup. Oh my days! This guy tore the living daylights. Nah, he cooked. He cooked in that. I think it was in the first half or the second half. He was cooking, bro. He was cooking. I think it was Destiny that was getting the business. And then we played them again in the league game. It was either Destiny or someone else. Someone was getting cooked by Savio or Savinho. And then we played them in the league game, and him and Doku, oh my days, they tormented us. They tormented us. And this guy, he's a baller. He's one of those Brazilians that actually looks Brazilian. When you watch him play, you say, yeah, I can see the Brazilian in you. And that's Savio or Savinho. I'm going to call him Savinho for the rest of this video, so I don't jump in between names. But the kid can play. When you look at him stylistically, he adds a level of technical quality that Spurs have gone out of their way to search for this summer. guys on the flanks who can get the ball and get it cracking. We didn't have that enough, and we still don't. We went out and signed Kudus this summer, son, who has shown in pre-season that is what he's about. I get the ball, give it to me, I'm going to keep it, I'm going to get it cracking, I'm going to take on my man, I'm going to cause carnage. We've signed 2 prospects in Tell and Odobert. Odobert is probably better at that than Tell, but Tell's more aggressive. He gets the ball, he can still take on his man, but he's a cut inside and shoot guy, whereas Odobert is, I'm going to twist you up. I'm going to try and twist you up. So I'm glad to see that Spurs are targeting these wide options who can do stuff on the flanks, not just cut inside and shoot, or not just do nothing for 90 minutes. No names. I'm not indirecting anyone, but I am. Not just do nothing for 90 minutes and pop up with a tapping, but no, in the game, in the thick of the action, get ample touches of the ball, get the ball, cook your opponent, create chances for others, and fashion some chances for your own. And I think that's something that Savinho can do at Tottenham. But for me, I think, and I alluded to it earlier on, he's a player that you need time with, because he's a player that didn't have good output, in my opinion. On the surface output, I'm talking goals and assists. I don't think he had enough output for Man City last year. When you look at what Man City get from their wide options, typically Savinho, along with Doku, didn't quite hit the mark in terms of the numbers. And I have that reservation at Spurs. He'd be coming to our team, and he'd be a player who could go up and get numbers, and I would expect him to improve on his GA under Frank, the same way I expect Odobert to do it, the same way I expect Tell to do it. But the problem I'm stating, and it may not be a problem for other clubs, but unfortunately it's a problem for us, is these guys, they need time. There's a pool of young players we have, they're talented players, but they need time. However, unfortunately, we are putting them in a position where we may not be able to give them as much time as they need, because we're pinning first team established hopes on guys who are developing. And the reason we're doing that is because we have no one else to pin those hopes on, because we're signing guys like Savinho, because we're signing guys like Tell, because we're signing guys like Odobert. Yeah. In summary, I like the player. I have no qualms with Tottenham signing him. I'm just very intrigued by what this move means for us as a club, because it's very clear to see that we have a lot of prospects in this team, in the attack and in the midfield, and these prospects, they need to be sheltered by more established quality. So you see what I mean? Like Kudus, that's established quality. And yes, I know that his output was poor for West Ham last year, but I mean, that's a guy who's had more experience playing top flight football. He's played for Ajax, he's played for West Ham, he's won silverware with West Ham. Did he win silverware with West Ham? No, I don't think he did. I don't think that's true. No, I don't think that is true. He didn't win silverware with West Ham. Ignore it, but you get my point. He's got experience, like shouldering responsibility. Yeah? And maybe Savinho will relish that experience if he was to join Tottenham. The same way maybe Tell might relish that experience this season, or Odobert. But the point is, they're young. They need time. They need patience. And they're not a fairly dependable source for output right now. And Spurs need output. We have a coach who's good at taking attackers to newer heights, and you would hope that if we were to sign Savinho, he could do that with Savinho, as well as what he could potentially do with Tell, as well as what he could do potentially with Odobert, as well as what he could do potentially with Solanke. And I get that we're banking on Frank's coaching to take these players up a level, but I also think we need to give Frank some help. And whilst Savinho represents good help for Frank, I think we need Savinho plus more. Because you now have Savinho, Tell, Odobert, the 21 years old, 20 years old, 20 years old. It's a tall order to start asking these guys to start giving you established player output. You need to build that. And it may come this season, but it may not come. It's not a guarantee. Do you get? It's not a guarantee like Son is a guarantee for double GA every season, no matter how bad he's playing. Like Elise, GA at Bayern. Saka, GA at Arsenal. I appreciate I'm naming some top players. Top players. So let me go one step below. Like Maddison, for instance, that's GA, guaranteed at Spurs. He's not available. Do you get what I'm saying? Yeah, Jared Bowen, that's guaranteed GA at West Ham. That's what I'm talking about. And I'm not saying Spurs should go and sign Bowen. I'm saying that we need more reliable attackers to complement the likes of Savinho and Tell and Odegaard into this team. So that's why I'm intrigued by this move, because for me, if I look at Savinho, he plays like what we want Kudus to do on the right, which tells me if Frank really wants this player, that might suggest that Kudus is going to go central, because Savinho's left-footed, Savinho's a dribbler, Savinho's creative, Savinho's fast. Savinho can play both flanks, but he primarily played off the right for Pep, and primarily plays off the right in general. And it sort of fits into what Frank wants of his right winger. So maybe that tells me that Kudus might be going central and playing as the 10 for the majority of the season, even though we signed Kudus to play the right, but obviously needs much situation because Maddison injury, Kulusevski injury. Maybe that's the approach. Maybe. Or maybe he's thinking Kudus and Savinho, you're going to battle for right. Tell Odegaard, you're going to battle for left. Johnson, maybe we might move Johnson central and play as a different type of option through the middle instead of Solanke. But make no mistake about it, we still need more quality in this team. So I'm a thumbs up for Savio, but we still need more quality into this team. Whether it's competing with a striker for Solanke or the 10. Really, it should be the 10. Really, it should be the 10. We need more quality into this team. Right? And when I say quality, I mean more established quality into this team. Savinho adds technical quality to the team. I'm just thinking of the options now. Imagine if we had Savinho on the right, Odegaard on the left. That's two dribblers. And then you have a new number 10. Or you have Kudus central, Savinho on the right, Tell on the left, Solanke through the middle. For me, that's a pretty decent attack. Of course, yeah, it needs more. Yeah, the players need to develop, etc., etc. But at least that's a functional attack. Or a new number 10, Kudus off the right, Savinho off the left. I think the good thing here is we have versatile attackers who are technically sound. I feel like that's what we're going for. Kudus can play central, can play right. Odegaard can play left, can play right. Tell, for me, primarily off the left at this point in time. I don't really want to see Tell through the middle because I think he stinks when he plays through the middle. But for me, he's a left-sided option, and I think he's going to give Tottenham some quality off the left. We just need to be patient, unfortunately. And I am impatient. I'm not telling Spurs fans to be patient. I am impatient. I'm saying me straight. I am impatient. And I'm saying that with the prospect of potentially Savinho coming to the club, I am still impatient because I still want a more fearful attack. I want a more potent attack. I feel like the players that we're trying to build and establish, they may offer something to Tottenham this season. They may not. They may offer Tottenham more next season or the season after that. But we need attackers who are near enough guaranteed to offer something this season. And that's where I am. So, in short, let's see what happens to the Savinho news. I can't imagine Man City selling him for cheap. I can imagine them putting at least a 45 to 50 million price tag on his head. It'll be interesting to see what we do with whatever fee we're quoted. And it'll be interesting to see what we do with the rest of the team because, as I said, we need more quality. We still need a number 10. That's a guarantee. I'm even shocked by this Savinho move because I'm shocked that we're signing another winger, which is why I feel like it may mean that Kudus might be moved into the central option. But I'm interested to see what happens. But we need more. We need Savinho. Or we could do with a player like Savinho, but it has to be Savinho plus one more. It can't just be Savinho. And we need more in defence. We need a lot of things. But again, we're at the mercy of Daniel Levy, Johan Lange. At least I'm happy here. Even if we don't sign the player, I won't be happy if we don't sign the player, of course. But at the very least, it's comforting that they are going for a player that the manager wants, because the manager brought out, or he put out an interview recently, and it sounded spooky. I'm not gonna lie, it sounded spooky. It sounded like there was a disconnect between Johan Lang, or Lange, however you pronounce his surname, and the manager. Johan Lang not really understanding what the manager wants. So at least it's refreshing to see that Spurs are going for a target that the manager has clearly said is someone that he wants in his team. Whether we'll get the players, a different question altogether, and what that will mean for the rest of the window for us and our attacking reinforcements potentially, or defensive reinforcements, or midfield reinforcements, remains to be seen. But we just have to play this by ear and just hope that the club can do this deal potentially, plus more deals that can improve this team, take this team forward. That's the best we can hope for, man. PSG's just round the corner and we're still shuffling. Make some moves.